Hey, how's it going? It's Yuri, and I want to answer a question that I think is very valid to answer, and it's all about what is the difference between my first book, The AllDay Energy Diet, which became a #2 New York Times bestseller, and my upcoming AllDay Fat Burning Diet. This is a question that we've received a couple times, so I figured, you know what? It's a very valid question. I should probably answer that. So I'm going to do that right here for you, and I'm going to just, give you a bit of a comparison on the whiteboard as well. So first and foremost, just, the AllDay Energy Diet was predominantly geared towards helping you double your energy, right? And as you know, my story, I suffered for 20 years of my life with very low energy. Didn't realize that that was a warning sign telling my body that something else was going on. And then when I was 17, I developed an autoimmune condition, lost all my hair, blah, blah, blah. When I went back to school to study holistic nutrition, I discovered that nutrition was the key to cleaning up the wasteland inside of me, and doing so allowed me to feel better than ever and very quickly really just kind of transform my health. And that's kind of what I shared in the AllDay Energy Diet. Now, as I talked about in the book, one of the principles, one of the energy commandments, as I call them, is how you heal anything is how you heal everything. So therefore, in the AllDay Energy Diet, not only did we have thousands of readers feel more energetic, but they also started to lose weight as a byproduct of just living and eating a healthier in a healthier manner. So the weight loss was a strategic byproduct of that book. The book is very straightforward. If I were to give it to you in a nutshell, it's basically eat more greens, more of them in their raw states, and you're gonna feel like $1,000, okay? Now that's the AllDay Energy Diet. I talk about the food, a little bit about the exercise, more about what to avoid, not so much what to do, and a little bit about stress and obviously recovery, or kind of stress management, as it pertains to helping you feel more energized. Because if you're stressed out, you're gonna wear down your body, you're gonna feel pretty tired. The AllDay Fat Burning Diet is, so I've been known for two big kind of categories in terms of really helping people in the past 2 decades. That is fat loss and energy. I said everything I could about energy in my first book. And I'm saying, and I've said everything I can about fat loss in this next book, the AllDay Fat Burning Diet. So the reason I wrote the book is because the typical advice, the typical recommendations for losing weight is pretty straightforward, right? Exercise more, eat less. That's been the paradigm that we've lived in for decades. And unfortunately, if you're in the boat of you've done everything right, you've exercised, you've eaten well, and you're still having a tough time losing weight, then you know that that is not the full story. So I wrote this book because I've been able to help a lot of people who have struggled with their first 50 pounds or their first 100 pounds or just getting started losing weight, as well as those who have hit that plateau where it's like those last 5 or 10 pounds, they're not too sure what to do. They've eaten well, they've exercised properly, but it's like those stubborn last couple pounds, and they just need that breakthrough. And the AllDay Fat Burning Diet is the solution to both of those scenarios. So the person who's just starting out, who says, listen, I gotta change. I need to lose some weight here. And the person who's like, you know what? I wanna get that extra % body fat off. So the AllDay Fat Burning Diet is a strategic way of making weight loss easy. So let me define this a little bit differently. Let me write this out. Structure equals freedom. So let me give you an example of this. With meal plans, right, with recipes, if you don't have a structured meal plan for the week, it's gonna be last minute decisions. So I'm stressed out, I don't wanna think about what to have for dinner, I'm gonna pick up the phone, call for pizza, I'm gonna get pickup or take up or delivery or pickup on the way home. When we get home after a long day's work, our willpower is drained, we don't wanna make decisions, right? We don't have freedom because we are just bogged down in stuff. When you have a done for you meal plan, or even if you've created your own for the week ahead of time, that structure gives you the freedom to not have to worry about what you're going to make at the end of the day, right? When you're stressed out, when you're tired, you don't want to have to think about what to make. But if you have that structured meal plan in place, you have the freedom to know, the peace of mind, knowing that, oh, on Tuesday I'm gonna have this for dinner, or on Thursday I'm gonna have this for dinner. And that's really important. And obviously this is one of the components of the book. I actually give you a 21-day meal plan with 56 amazing recipes, some amazing new juices and smoothies, but above and beyond those incredible recipes, which are, by the way, gluten-free, dairy-free, allergen-free, low in sugar, takes 15 minutes or less to make, as do all my recipes. You'll enjoy all of that awesomeness. But above and beyond all of that is the structure of the book, which is based on structure, to give you freedom. And the reason I say this is because the book is based on a 5-day food cycling formula, which helps to reset your metabolism to help you lose up to 5 pounds per week. So earlier I said the typical advice was eat less, exercise more, but that's not working. There are things happening inside your body. Specifically, there are 6 fat triggers that are holding you back from losing weight and keeping it off. And these 6 fat triggers are disrupting hormones and circadian rhythms inside your body, which is the reason why no amount of exercise or eating right is going to make any difference, especially the healthier you get and the leaner you get. So if you're having trouble losing weight, or you can't break through those last couple pounds, the 5-day food cycling formula is a structured framework that allows your body to honor its natural rhythm. Basically what that means is this: you don't have to eat 5 or 6 times a day, as everyone tends to think they should. Think about this. When our Paleolithic ancestors walked the earth, did they have access to food whenever they wanted? Could they walk down the street and go to Starbucks and grab a mocha frappuccino? Could they go to McDonald's and grab takeout? Could they order a pizza? Could they open their fridge? No, they didn't have any of that. They had access to some fresh berries, maybe some tubers, some plants, depending on where they lived in the world, depending on the season, and then obviously any kind of fresh game that they would have been able to catch. At the time, there was no, I'm gonna be vegan, I'm gonna be paleo, it's I'm gonna eat because if I don't, I will die. Right? We live in a very disconnected world from where we started, in case you haven't realized, right? So our body has evolved, right? Well, actually, our physiology really hasn't evolved at all since day one when we started, as humans. The problem is that technology in modern society has evolved exponentially rapid, and we can't keep up with that. By that I mean, our inherent biology is meant to go through periods of not eating all the time. Or again, if you don't eat for a prolonged period of time, it'll also kind of go into storage mode or fear mode or survival mode and hold on to fat. So knowing this, how can we start to cycle our foods so that we don't have to eat all the time? Or we don't have to starve ourselves? How can we still enjoy delicious food and structure it in a way that honors our body's natural rhythms, so that it can kind of reset its physiology so that you can effortlessly lose weight? That is where this structure comes in, and it gives you the ultimate freedom. We took 720 beta testers through this program as I was writing the book. And the biggest thing we saw, other than people just losing weight ridiculously in a safe and healthy manner, was the fact that the vast majority of them said, this is the most sustainable way of eating I've ever come across. And that's a big win for me because, as you know, I'm all about getting quick results that last. So the 5-day food cycling formula, basically in a simple rhyme that I like to use, is some days high, some days low, some days yes, some days no. Hey, if you wake up in the morning and you don't want to have breakfast, guess what? That's okay. Hey, if you want to have a big dinner with more carbohydrates, guess what? That's okay. I'm going to show you in this book how to tap into your body's kind of inner wisdom to help you gain your sanity back and lose weight and keep it off. The other really important component of this book, which is very different from almost every other diet out there, is that there is a very strategic component of exercise along with the food cycling formula. So what that means is on specific days, I recommend specific workouts to coincide with the way you're eating. And that's really important because that is a synergy that you simply don't get by eating alone. And why most diets don't last in terms of their results is because they only focus on what to eat and what not to eat. The problem with that, as you know, if you watch my videos, is that your basal metabolic rate is responsible for 70%. Let me write this down because this is an important number. 70% of the calories you burn is determined by your basal metabolic rate. The only way to keep your basal metabolic rate churning through calories is muscle. And guess what? You probably know this. Eating is not going to build muscle. The only way to build muscle and maintain muscle is through the right type of exercise. And I'm not talking about, lifting weights 7 days a week or running hours a day. It's not about that. In fact, you're going to be able to work out less than 90 minutes per week. In some days, just 5 minutes. And you are going to turn yourself into a 24/7 fat burning machine now and into the future because you're combining the right foods, cycled in the right way, with the right workouts. And the final component is the right recovery and rest strategies. Let me give you a quick example. Did you know that the only way, or the best, most effective way to increase growth hormone, which is really important for muscle to keep your metabolic rate active, 3 things: deep sleep, intermittent fasting, so like a 1-day fast, and number 3 is heavy resistance training, right? So lower repetitions, heavier weights. Those are the 3 most proven ways to increase growth hormone. And obviously you can look at certain foods as well. But those 3 things are vital components of the all-day fat burning diet. So again, strategic structure gives you the freedom to understand that you don't have to count calories. You don't have to weigh all your food. You don't have to fuss about stuff. You don't need the shame and guilt about, oh, the fat, I just had this for dinner, I didn't have breakfast, or I had this indulgent dessert. Hey, we're humans. This is life. Like, stuff happens. How can we just live life without worrying about every little thing that we're doing, every little thing that we're eating, like micromanaging our diets? It's crazy. I mean, you're probably sick of it as well. Again, the irony here is that the structure of this program gives you freedom. The first couple days, as you go through the 5-day food cycling formula, the first 5 days will take a little bit of kind of getting used to it. Like, what are those 5 days? How to do them? Very simple, by the way. Once you've gone through 5 days, it's very intuitive. It's very, very, very simple to follow. And that's what I'm most proud of. I really think this book, again, for me, it's not a diet. It's just a way of eating. This is the way I eat on a day-to-day basis. The all-day energy diet is a component of how I eat, but this is really kind of how I eat on a regular basis. Just because I will go through a day where I will not have any food until dinner. And that's just because I'm in service mode of creating videos, creating content, doing other things. And as you can tell, I'm not a very heavy guy. I've never struggled with my weight. I've had trouble gaining weight, if anything. But I can tell you, I've had my health issues. And I realize, it's all the same stuff. We just have different weak points. My weakest link is, my hair and my asthma and stuff like that. For you, it might be your weight. But how you heal anything is how you heal everything. And by giving yourself the structure from a food perspective with the right exercise and the proper recovery, those are very, very important. Ultimately, those 3 things work to reduce inflammation in your body so that your body is no longer in an inflamed, stressed out state. And as a result, it can kind of reset to its factory settings, which are keeping you lean. Okay? And that's how you do it. So again, everyone's results are going to be different, right? If you're, 300 pounds overweight versus somebody who's at a very, very low percent body fat, your results are going to be different. And depending on your lifestyle, depending on what's already happening in your body, but I can tell you, almost everybody that we had in the beta test showed significant improvements. And you're going to see a lot of these transformations in the book. You'll be so inspired. It's incredible. So that's kind of the difference between the all-day energy diet and the all-day fat burning diet. The first one is all about energy. Weight loss was a byproduct. This one is all about weight loss in a very structured, strategic fashion, so that ultimately it gives you the freedom after the 21-day plan to just live life. And you'll know by 21 days, this will be so ingrained into your daily life that you won't even think about it. You'll just go through your days and you'll enjoy food, you'll enjoy life, and you won't be fussing about stuff. So I'm very, very excited about this book. It's tremendous. I know you will as well. And again, you can pre-order your copy. We'll have a link for this below. It comes out in stores on Amazon on December 22nd, and we'll have some amazing, cool things happening around then as well. And remember, when you pre-order it, you're also gonna be getting a number of bonuses worth over $116, and we're adding in new bonuses every single month leading up to the release of the book. So you do not want to miss out. It's gonna be amazing. We're gonna be doing something very special in the new year as well for everyone who's purchased the book. This is something you want to be a part of. I'm telling you, it's gonna be huge. So there we go. Hopefully that answers your question for all of you guys who've been wondering what the difference is. And there we go. Thanks again, guys.